Uh-oh. Usually these are broke real bad right here. This one's not. Look right here. There's supposed to be a piece right here. It's supposed to have just 3 holes in it. And those fell out. Sorry to cut right to the chase here, but this has been a several day process of getting this thing the way I wanted it. Still not 100%. Still a little crease here and there, but that's, you know, in the back. But it didn't turn out too bad, obviously. Everything stuck down pretty well. My biggest thing is I wanted these seatbelt, I almost forgot where they were, the seatbelt holes for the rear. I wanted those to disappear, because from the factory, for these little squares, they had like little plastic pieces that came up here, and they don't stay in, they break, so they don't latch in, they just fall right off. So obviously this car's not going to have back seats in it, so I just went ahead and just covered right over them on both sides. You can kind of see it where they used to be, but I ain't too worried about it. Of course, we got our hole for our dome light. Still got to do the sun visors, so once I get them done, I'll cut the holes. What I'm going to end up doing is probably just cutting a little X in the center, and this is, you know, 4 layers thick. And the reason for that is the little triangle pieces that are part of the headliner, they fall right out right here. So sun visors actually hold up your headliner a little bit on these T-top cars, so you got to pretty much make sure you have, you know, sturdy material there for the headliner to stay up with. So I think the hardest thing about doing this headliner was these front corners. You can see some leftover residue I just got done. And there's not much I can really do about it. It's just going to be there. It ain't no big deal. But the big thing is also on the back side, make sure you remove all the old material like you saw me doing on the top, or the side that you're going to be putting your fabric on. Make sure you do the underside as well, because the fabric, this is an 83, so might be a little different, but this one had like some weird fabric laid down on the bottom side that had like square holes in it. So that stuff was just falling right off, so I had to take all that off in order to get my tucked parts to stick. But yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. Next step is to do the sun visors, so let's get started on them, and then we'll get it all installed and show you what it looks like.
cut pieces in this one.
Are these baby scissors?
Mm-hmm.
They're really good for this.
Well, that's going to kind of conclude the headliner and sun visors for the 83 Camaro. I don't really have much closeout footage right now. Been pretty busy with work and stuff like that, so I figured I'll just leave it at that. The headliner, like I said, it didn't turn out right, exactly like I wanted to. Sun visors, they weren't really what I wanted them to be. I think I only threw in like one clip of the sun visors when they were finished for whatever stupid reason, which was a Snapchat video I had saved. But I got it all in the car, and now I'm fighting with the situation where I don't have a working tach still. So I went and spent $100 and something on all brand new gauges to go in the car, get it a little bit more prepared to be on the street. And all the other gauges, they work perfectly. They're not like exactly what I wanted, but they're pretty close. The tach was reading 100 RPM when they were sitting there idling. I was like, there's no way that engine runs at 100 RPM. There's no way. 200 RPM. There's no way. I turned the RPM up and it said 400. I was like, this thing's idling almost 1,000. Anybody that's been around any cars can tell that tach was way off. So I just went and took it back and got my money back, and I said, screw it. There's a speed shop actually that's about 20 minutes from my house. So probably next week, when I actually have a little more money to spend, I'll probably go just get an actual high-end tach and just run it. I still have to get the rest of the interior parts. I started getting some of the sound deadening re-glued to the back plastics in the trunk of the car. And I was going to go ahead and start putting that stuff back in, but I really need to finish the whole carpet situation. But I need to really finish the rest of the carpet situation, because if you watch the one of the previous videos, we did the front carpet. I mean, it's still faded, but it looks fine. But the plastics on the interior, I want to redo them in the tan color. I want to go with a darker tan color. The door panels, I found somebody that sells aluminum door panels, so it gets rid of that plastic piece that goes across the top of the doors, across the top of the doors. And my issue with that piece, that plastic piece, is it bows over age, and then it also has a window sweep on the inside. Well, you got plastic pins that stick out on the inside. It goes through holes in the door panel, and then you put a nut on there. Well, that plastic piece is bowed, so it pulls up on the cardboard that the door panel is made of, and it pulls it right out. So I've got this piece of plastic on my driver's door that's basically just sitting there, and I can see the holes in the door panel. And those door panels are only like probably a couple of years old. They were not old really when I got the car. And the driver's side one, where the glass had been busted out and it was getting rained on, I took that door panel off and I put it in the trunk, and as I set it flat, and as it sat there, the sun made it warp and everything. So now they're ruined. So I have to replace them. So I was like, why not just get some aluminum ones that will last forever? And worst case scenario, I can just paint them black, make them gloss black aluminum door panels. They look really good, and they'll still have all the factory stuff on them, like the plastic door handle trim and all that stuff on it. Plus it'll have the hole for the window crank and everything. So it'll be like a factory door panel type of deal without the plastic and the cardboard. So kind of think more long term. We'll see about them. I'll show y'all when I decide if I want to spend the $200 on those or not. But I'm still in the market for seats. I still need a roll bar and 5-point harness. I do want 5-point harness because it's a street car, so it does need a 5-point, which basically just means it's a 4-point harness plus a non-submarine belt, basically. Because I'm gonna have people riding in my car and stuff like that, and if something happens, I don't want to have to worry about them sliding up underneath my dash or something, So I found some seats on Jegs. I kind of want to, on the lower end of the, name brand seats. That's what I'm wanting. I'm wanting low end name brand seats that don't recline, but are already leaning back a little bit, because I don't want to be sitting up, straight like this trying to drive. It don't make any sense. But anyways, I'm gonna stop the video there. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe. I really appreciate every single one of them. Literally, like, as soon as I see a subscriber +1 on my YouTube Studio app, I'm going in and seeing who's subscribing to my channel. Criticism, concerns, all that stuff, write down in the comments. I don't care who you are or whatever. If you post a comment, I'm going to read your comment and reply. If you think these videos are stupid, let me know and tell me how to fix them. I'm listening. So but yeah, like and share if you don't care. And I'm signing out. Peace.